What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Thank you for watching the King Ghana YouTube channel. I gotta do my thing. I see the African superstar trying to be like me, but that's very difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so glad. Give us a round of applause for coming into the building. And my sister is gonna tell you exactly what her channel is about and what she does. Go ahead, and let them know.
Hi guys, what's up? It is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again with my brother O'Shea. We're here to talk about more relationship topics. I don't know why they be trying to bring me out. What? But I came to do my due diligence. I would like to welcome all of our viewers over to my new platform, The African Superstar Black. So if you're subscribed to my previous platform, please do come over. YouTube shut me down and we are currently rebuilding. And so I'm doing a lot of collabs to get that visibility. Big shout outs to O'Shea Duke Jackson and his team for having me again. Much love to my brother.
All right. And, you know, me and African Superstar have some interesting conversations because just like my brother George Macon, we try to solve the Black world's problems every day in like a 30 minute or 1 hour conversation. Yeah. You Negroes still have problems after we get off the phone, but we're trying to help. I even put it on my tombstone when I died. It's going to say, I tried to help you niggas. Right. That's what I'll put on there. I tried to help you niggas. But we've been talking a lot about, obviously I've been inspired to go to the continent. Dynasty Amir is from my city. So that's what got me going. Cause I knew about him when we was in high school. We went to same high school. And you're in Ghana, and a lot of Black men, seems like Black women are a little bit more excited about going to Africa than Black men. A lot of Black men are, in the States, not really coming to Africa as much. But what we're noticing that all around the world, that a lot of Black men are dating white women, non-Black women. Why is that, in your opinion? Why are Black men, or African men too? Because that's, if we want to talk about that, that's very prevalent. Why are Black men in the African diaspora and on the continent either dating or wanting to date non-African women?
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple reasons. I mean, first of all, we as a people are not promoted to be Pan-Africans. We're not promoted to kind of, stick with our own. We're actually taught to promote the well-being of our own community is like racist. And for, people like O'Shea and I and several other YouTubers that come out and boldly say things about the way forward for our people, even we get backlash from other Blacks saying, oh, that's not right, that's not fair. I think that's one thing. Certainly here on the continent, it's going to be a level of curiosity because they're growing up in environments that are not really diverse. So there's always a connotation that with a different kind of woman or an exotic kind of woman, maybe it's different. Maybe, the sexual experience is different. Maybe they're going to interact with you differently. And ultimately, you have to look at the media presentation that kind of puts these women as status symbols. A lot of prominent people, celebrities, world leaders, when they escalate, when they get big or they earn a lot of money, they then begin to engage in interracial relationships. So multidimensional, it seems like something that might be promising for a lot of men.
So those things are true, right? But let me also ask you this, because I think on the outside, like because I was walking around, I'm in Warsaw, so my scenery is looking different. And I saw an African guy with the white woman, and I'm over here, not far from the University of Warsaw School of Economics, which is one of the more popular schools in Europe. And it's a very nice area. There's an African guy, I'm pretty sure he's Nigerian, walking around with a white girl. And on the outside looking in, you would think like, well, these guys are chasing these white women because they're white. And that's something that a lot of Black women, especially from America and Britain and in the African on Africa, they say that. Do you believe that Black men are chasing non-Black women just because of the fact, oh, she's white and that's why I pick her over our sisters? Is that what you think?
I mean, some guys have that connotation. I'd also like to offer that non-Black women can be very aggressive.
Okay.
with black men. They will pursue black men.
Okay.
I've seen it, in university. I've seen it in the professional world as well. In regards to non-black women and black men, there is this sexual stigma a lot of times. And many white women have, been bold enough to say it, where they want to have sexual experiences with black men, or they think black men are more endowed than their men. And so, there's also a level of curiosity. But I think it's an insecure black man that thinks that non-black women are superior to black women.
I would agree.
And I think that stems from a lot of issues. It can stem from, maybe experiences they had in their upbringing, or maybe experiences they've had in their romantic life. Because, there are also some brothers that started out with black ladies, and for one reason or another, the relationship didn't work. And then now they have started, trying other women or dating outside because of that experience. So there's not one, answer to why men are doing it. I do think from a African perspective, because they don't necessarily have the racial hangups that we do, they don't see it that way. They don't see it like, oh, I'm with a white woman. They see it like I'm with a person. I've talked to a lot of them when they migrate. It's kind of like, oh, I got to this place and this was the first person that was showing me interest. This was, I met them in school, and they kind of have that perception of, people are people kind of thing. They don't really have the same connotation that we do in regards to like interracial relationships. So, it's so deep and complex.
Let me go back, because you make some interesting points. I had to write it down. You said that a lot of times, and this is very, very important, non-black women at the university level are very aggressive in pursuing black men. Can you expound on that and break that down when you say how, talking about them being, what do you mean when you say that?
Well, I mean, naturally, living in those kind of environments, the white woman is right beneath the white man, and they feel that they have jurisdiction over everything and everybody. They feel that they have a passport to the world, that they can do whatever they want to do. And I mean, this actually is nothing new. They took advantage of, our ancestors through the transatlantic slave trade, forcing themselves on our ancestors and things like that. So when it comes to if they're interested in a particular person, they feel that they can have that person and they should have that person, and they will be relentless to pursue that person. Kim Kardashian actually made a statement when she was quite young that said that she had a fascination with mixed race children, and she loved their hair and she liked their skin tone. So she determined at that time that she was going to need a black man in order to make these mixed race children. And so she just kept on going through them, kept barreling through them until she got one that she was going to be able to settle down with. And I mean, in my perspective, that is usually how they look at black men. They look at black men as a one size fits all kind of thing. It's not like, oh, I love O'Shea because he's really intelligent. I like him because of these things, which are specific to you. It's kind of like a statement like, I like black men. Basically, I like y'all, and I'm gonna find one of y'all to work out with me. We saw this even as recent as the George Floyd protest. There were white women out with picket signs saying, I love black dick, so I'm supporting the protest. And that's literally, they see you, you're objectified. And I wouldn't say that's limited to non-black women and black males. That's also the connotation between non-black men and black women. It's a very,
the same thing.
Sexual objectification kind of relationship with them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, me and you both stay in the same lane when we're talking about blacks dating interracially. I'm not going to go into great detail, but anybody who's listened to any of my content knows where I'm at with that, right? Yeah. I've been in Poland for going on
#Black lovers stay single. Go to the website
5.5 years. Yeah, I've never dated anybody from Europe. I'm talking about as far as being a European, right? So, not that they're not nice people or anything like that. It's just that for my message to be what it is and who I am truly, I can't be a hypocrite to what I'm talking about. And I feel that a lot of people who are saying that they are B1, but really they're B none. I mean, we're gonna be. It's a lot. You got a lot of B1s who are B nuns. Right? So we'll leave that alone. But I think I look at it differently than you, because I think that when white women or any group of women that look, and I'm in an international medical school where there's people from all over the world that I've become friends with, and I was even undergrad. I think that anybody who's been interested in somebody that was black, because you have people who are in the middle. Like, okay, you have the people who are chasing black men, and there was a white woman that just want a black man, doesn't matter. But I think also you have people in the middle that, okay, this is a guy and he does have these characteristics that maybe I saw my father have. Because you have to understand, like, non-blacks tend to be married longer. They tend to be married more. We used to be the most married 100 years ago in the country, but we're not anymore.
Right.
So what this white woman or non-black woman can pick up in when a talented African guy or a talented African American guy or whoever the guy is, she might see that, oh, he's hardworking, or oh, he's ambitious, you know, he's willing to do these things like long term. I think when non-black women look at relationships, not that black women don't, but I think that they look at things that they've seen that a lot of times black women have not seen because they just haven't been there. So a quality or a characteristic of a guy that she could see in her father because she's been there, a black woman might not look at that because she just doesn't know. Her idea of masculinity could be something different. Like in the black community, we already know swag, you know, being muscular, being very tall, you know, the niggas you be dating. You know, you know what I'm saying? The guys that you like. So, you know, and it can't even read and write. But we're gonna leave you alone for right now. But that's what we're dealing with. I think that white women are not saying, well, I just want a black guy, because think about it. A lot of white women have lost a lot of privilege by going black. Like, if I'm gonna deal with this guy, he better have something to offer. I think that's more or less in the middle markets, because the guys that a lot of white women are choosing, don't get me wrong, there are guys who are dating the Dusties or whatever like that. But the non-black men, the non-black women that are looking at black men, I think that they're looking at them for the reasons of some of them are characteristics. Think about a white woman. A white woman can come anywhere and get on for the most part. So she ain't really so thirsty for, because, you know, black men are going to throw themselves out. So, you know, you have a lot of brothers that will just throw themselves at white women know they have an advantage.
Well,
so they got it.
There's also, you know, and I mean, this wouldn't, you know, maybe a man wouldn't pick up on it, but there's also the competition between black women and white women. Okay. White women are extremely jealous of black women, and they do everything to emulate us, from their hair to augmenting their body to burning their skin. They are completely obsessed with us. So what happens is the black man sees himself as like, oh yeah, you know, this lady likes me because she likes me. The white women also flex on us when they have black men. That's kind of like their validation that they're on. So they kind of use you guys as pawns, and you guys may not know it, but it's a flex on a black. It's basically, you know, like that tit for tat. Like, you know, you guys got the juice, and we want to be like you, and this is our final piece. You know, we got a black man by our side, we're also validated. You know, so that's also the understated. Yeah, because many black women can attest. I mean, leave in the comments, ladies. You know, we actually talked about this on my channel about how white women will do that in public. You know, they will be trying to flex on you when they're with their black man, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's a dig, you know, it's a shot. It's a shot.
That very well, I would not disagree, because I have seen some of that kind of stuff you're talking about. Not as well as you have seen, but I wouldn't disagree with that. The other thing I want to say is this too. Looking at it objectively, because I have friends that deal with non-black women.
Okay. And what do they say, Oshay? What do they say?
I'm gonna say this is a problem in the world. I think if you've seen it on even this channel, which we have a Kingana dating show.
Correct.
Okay. And we've had at least 6 episodes. You look at Kevin Samuels, night in and night in, call after call after call. you're seeing a lot of sisters that believe that they should get something because they're a woman. Okay. This is the biggest problem I think that's happening right now on the continent and in Black America and the diaspora. The reason why there are so many talented African men and African American men dating out is I believe there is an extreme level, number one, of let me try to be nice here. Level of entitlement and delusion. Whereas a lot of guys need to have all the money, they need to have everything right now. And if they don't have everything right now, then you can't do nothing for me. Okay. And then there's, if the guy is very attractive, he ain't gotta have. That's also going on. So what happens is that these guys that are dealing with some, Black women, because, in Africa, women are to be given. There even had a girl here, I believe her name was Emmy. Maybe we could play that clip too at some point. Women are to be given. I'm a woman. I should get it because I'm a woman. Guys get tired of hearing that, and I think that's the big problem that's happening right now in the Black world is, okay, I'm a woman. Well, what do I have to do for you? I don't have to do nothing but just look good, have a nice body, and that's it. I'm a woman. You need to give me everything. What do you got to do? Nothing. Then you get mad if the guy cheats. I think that what I'm seeing is these women that are looking, and you talked about being very aggressive. They're pursuing the guys. Black women, in my opinion, for the guys they should be dealing with, they don't want to pursue them. They're sitting around like, you need to pursue me. See, you see the difference? When it's a white woman or a non-Asian woman that want an African man or a talented African man, she's going to put herself in a position to pursue him. Black women, even if they like the guy, they're going to be like, no, you need to come holler at me. I'm all that. And so, they're not putting themselves in a position to, get married long-term or to be. And so the white girls and the non-Black women are doing that. And that leaves a lot of sisters single because, number one, a lot of women believe that they're just too good. Like, they need to get everything from these dudes. These dudes need to be catering for them. Well, then the other groups of women understand that, well, this guy has some value. This guy I want to be with. I need to put myself in a position to cater to him because I need to be able to prove myself to him. With the women, it's always about the guy needs to prove himself to me. I don't need to do nothing. So, of course, when you're getting that like that, the guys are not going to deal with you. If that's the attitude, they're going to go to the other girls.
It's definitely an element, you know what I mean? There definitely are some people, I kind of talked about them on my channel as well, where, their expectations of what a partner is are completely unrealistic. And a lot of these people have not even had relationships for a very long time. So they're far removed from the reality of what's available and things like that. I do also want to preface, though, that women around the world have some of the same standards, which is they will expect the man to be the provider. And actually, these non-Black women have less loyalty to Black men than anybody because they do target, as you guys will put it, high value men. And if anything occurs to that man and he no longer is in that position, they hit the rug. You know what I mean? And we've seen it time in and time out. So let's not make any bones about, the importance of a man being, in his position or whatnot. But I personally believe that the strongest relationships are those with the mutual investments, because that makes it meaningful for both parties. And I think that is, as you talk about, it is a huge issue where, we do have men that feel, and especially in the West, because they are outnumbered by women, which gives them the opportunity to have more options. They feel that you should be vying for them and that they're the prize and that they don't have to do much because they're high in demand. And then you also have women that have that same attitude. I think both, if the parties maturely come to it and say, you know what, look, I need you, I want you, you need me, you want me, let's both put our heads in and invest in this situation. And also, I want to preface that a lot of what our people is not doing is making the commitment before they enter the relationship. Recently, Derrick Jackson's wife was slammed for, staying with him after his scandals came out the closet. All right. In as much we talk about, sticking it out and preserving relationships, when people choose to do that, then they are also insulted. So the
Preach.
reality is when you make a choice, because another popular topic people always ask, well, why aren't relationships working like our grandparents and our parents? Why aren't people staying together? Well, they had the mature mind of, I'm entering into this marriage, and I'm going to use every opportunity to make it last. And that means I'm going to work with my partner. And they considered the family, they considered the kids. Sometimes there was business, sometimes there was the house. Everything was involved in those things. It's not that they didn't have the challenges that we have. I mean, obviously they have social media, so it wouldn't travel around the world like it does now. But still, they had the same kind of problems: infidelity, domestic abuse, financial problems, alcoholism. All these kind of things. These are themes that have always been around, but I think it was the difference in the mentality was like, okay, you know what? We're going to actually try our very best to keep the family together. And our generation has to start doing it. We have to, if we're getting into relationships with each other, especially Black people, we have to choose each other. We can't enter the relationship with the back door. And so a guy coming in and he's like, look, if you ain't keeping me happy, I'm going to just go get me a white girl. What is that? Or the woman who comes in like, oh, Black man ain't this, Black man, I can do bad by myself and all that. The reality is we need each other. And realistically, if you're dating or you want companionship, that's what you want. So just be honest about it. I sure don't want to be, the single Black female on her own and all that. I'll admit it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also, like you said, positioning myself for the win. So, you have to be strategic. And I think a lot of us, there's too much emotional outbursts when we talk about relationships in our community, and that's not helping us move forward. We need to maturely assess this, devise a strategy, the way forward, how we're going to change this. Black people should preface their people first. Just like O'Shea and I, we have made the decision, we're not going to share our enterprise, our proceeds, our accolades, and our legacy with someone beyond the Black community. If we're not dating in America, we can date from the continent. We can date in the Afro-Latino community. There's a lot of options, but we have strategically chosen to select a partner in our community. And that's what you have to do. That's the choice that you have to make when we're talking about this topic. Yeah.
I think also that from the man's standpoint, what's being conditioned is that these guys, these Black men, the only thing they're worth is, okay, like, money, do this for me, and it's all about me. Like we talk about it right now with women in like, if you go even to Kenya and Uganda, right? If you ask any, let's just talk about this. This is how the uniformity is going. I make everybody knows I make pretty good money. So if I wanted my wife in America to be a housewife, I'm making enough money now to be able to do that. Shout out to Uganda, right? If I were to tell my wife in America, babe, I want you to be a housewife, most women are going to tell you, no. I don't have no problem cooking and cleaning for you, but a housewife? No. I went to school for this, this, and this, and this. I want to live my best life. Most Black men, if not all, don't have a problem with that. Same thing in Uganda and Kenya. I've had this conversation with several women. Do you want to be a housewife? The answer is no. Okay? But here's the situation, though. I'm not saying, but here's the situation. Every woman wants to be and wants a man who is a full-time provider, regardless of what she wants. Here lies the problem in the Black world in dating. Here's the problem. The problem is that the women want one thing. The women want everything. I'm gonna say it like this. Even the Black men.
A lot of them don't know what they want, though, O'Shea. For real, they say one thing and they do something else.
That is true. That is women. But what I want to say also is, the men almost will accept anything. We know that. African American men are pretty much similar. Give me some food, some booty, I'm okay, I'm cool, right? But then the issue comes in this. If you're the woman who you want to do everything on your timeline, right? And it's all on your beat, which is out to any man. If it's like that, don't deal with her. Leave her alone. The other races of women that I'm seeing, they're likely to say, and have been trained to say, well, what's best for the whole thing? Like, I have these aspirations, but just because I'm a lawyer or I'm a doctor or I'm a businesswoman, that doesn't mean that I'm better than you. What I'm finding is a lot of women in the Black community and African community, because of their status, because of their profession, that all of a sudden makes them better and more important than the man in a relationship. Like me, in a relationship, I'm successful, right? But that doesn't make me so much more better or better at all than the woman that I'm dealing with. I'm still have to sacrifice for the races to work. A lot of guys are willing to make the sacrifice. A lot of sisters that I'm thinking about, they don't want to do that. It's their thing.
It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning.
Not for all.
It's the conditioning. Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's the conditioning because first of all, especially Western women, they have been influenced with this feminism movement and this like single independent and I don't need a man and all that stuff. Okay. Number one. Number two, the woman has always been groomed that the man should be the head or he should be the top. So what that means is as the margins of women that are getting educated and becoming high earners, as that increases, they want a man on their level or higher. Okay. And what is happening is the women are, at least in America, they're educating, they're getting advanced degrees and stuff more than the men. Couple that with the dynamic of the shortage. So you have these, high value women, as Kevin would call it, that don't have components in their echelon, and they don't necessarily want to, some of them will go down. I mean, if they really want a partner, then they'll be willing to go down. But others of them have been trapped into this, delusion that eventually they're going to capture someone on their level, coupled with the fact that they want a Black man as well. You do have some sisters that's swirling, but it pales in comparison to like the brothers. A lot of the Black women want Black men, so it's a lot of dynamics that creates this vacuum. So I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with emasculating a man because maybe you earn more than him or you're more educated. I was groomed that you should always respect a man. And, even if you don't like him, even if you're not romantically involved with him, you should respect a man. Don't provoke him, don't emasculate him, because you're not going to get the maximum performance out of a man who you're constantly tearing down. And you have to invest in a man. Some of the most powerful men, Black men of our history, are the testament to their wives. Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton, even modern day Denzel Washington, these people, Chadwick Boseman, a lot of these guys give accolades to the women in their life for propelling them forward. And that's when you have a man, that's what you have to do. You have to pour into him. You may be able to motivate him to be great and to be, to improve, but you can't do that by tearing him down,
Let me say this. So yeah. So I think that, okay, the reason why we're seeing a lot of Black men date interracially, I want in closing, and I'm being fair to a lot of brothers that do it. A lot of brothers, like you do have those sellouts brothers out there, man. Oh, the white girl is this. Because if you look at the French, national team, they have all those brothers over there on the team, and they all have white girls and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, that does happen. that does happen. So I mean, but usually what I'm seeing is that a lot of times it is a brother who's in the middle. He will date a Black woman, but what he feels like is this group of women that's basically saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. And when it comes to what they're doing in return, there's nothing in return. And the other group of ladies are like, and it's not even about looks, because most Black men are attracted to Black women.
Because honestly, if we want to talk about Black girls, we kill the game. We kill the game. And the whites are just, they just copy everything we do, honestly, look who. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I can't stay out of Africa. Me, I'm a Christian. I just be looking. I don't touch.
That's why I can't stay out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? I can't stay out of Africa.
Don't get pregnant. You be the Be the
I
African
need to.
super single mother out
Don't y'all
there.
want little baby superstars? Of course y'all do. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
Y'all
don't
want
come the
little
African super single mother out of there. You know what I mean? Messing around.
No, no. We ain't that. We ain't going for that.
but you
I'm too
know,
old
so
for that, man.
yeah, but I think it's just like, for a lot of brothers that's doing the interracial thing, I don't think it's because, I think a lot of brothers, and one thing too,
Stop capping for them niggas.
No, I'm gonna tell you is this: we don't listen to what they gotta say, even though we can see it. What we have to listen to, because the women will just make it like there's over there because they cooning. We have to listen to why people are doing what they're doing so we can get both perspectives.
Okay,
because
fair enough.
Even for black women that do it, that we need to listen to both sides. I think that the thing is, and don't get me wrong, black men definitely have their problems.
The consensus from ladies, I mean, look, the consensus, and I know y'all gonna get mad. I know y'all be mad in the chat. It's okay. But the consensus, black women that's doing interracial, it's a last ditch. They're settling. And they know it. Yeah, they're settling. I mean, let's just face it. The black man is, he's superior. So whenever they gotta go outside, it's a settle mode.
Like I said, you have people that's in the, I know, like, from where we're from, and this is what I want to be, because be respectful to how certain people see things. In Uganda, being in an interracial relationship is not looked down upon.
Yeah, like it's like an upgrade.
Yes, in certain cases.
But those girls are not marrying. They're not marrying the white man because they love him and he's attractive. It's based on money.
Yeah. Whereas in the communities that we come from, it's like that's like almost a career ending. It's a career ender. Somebody like myself. So it's like a successful black man. You wouldn't want. It's over. So I think like I think that's where a lot of guys. Right. I think the conversation needs to be heard on the brother side. To see as to why.
I think this video will be popular, O'Shea. I think this one will be a popular topic.
It is a popular topic because I'm not taking up for them, but at the same time, I understand the entitlement that a lot of sisters have towards brothers, and I don't have to do nothing for you. All I gotta do is look good. What you gotta do? I even had one. I was dating one chick. This is a true story, and I've heard this several times. She was like, "I need $500." I'm like, "Why?" She was like, "Because I can look good." And I swear to God, I've heard this all the time. But what do I get out of you getting? Well, you could take me around and, I'll make you feel good. I mean, your girlfriend. Basically, because you're pretty. It's nothing that you do for me. And guys hear this all across Africa, like all across Black America. All I gotta do is just whatever I want to do, and you should pay for it. I think a lot of guys are getting tired of that, because the women have to also do. And the women who do get it, they're probably the ones that are more married. I'm not saying it's all sisters, but the women have to contribute to the relationship. Otherwise, you're going to get those other cultures that are going to be, like you said, more aggressive towards that. And they're aggressive with, hey, if you get with me, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Right. So anyways, I don't have anything else to add. You have anything else to add?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of complexities with it, but I mean, we need to do better, because the reality is a lot of people are searching, and there needs to be some closure to this, and we need to figure out how to fraction our families back, because the Black community is really, really suffering, especially in the West. And the only way for it to continue and for it to thrive is for the union of the Black men and women. So we need to put down a lot of this dysfunction and start healing ourselves. And, once we create healthy families, we also create healthy children, and all goes hand in hand. It's the circle of life. So I think these are conversations we need to have. And I really thank you for having me again and giving me an opportunity to speak from my perspective. And, I've heard your perspective. We actually had this conversation, earlier, and was like, oh, this will make a good topic for the show. So we have great conversations. I love O'Shea. He's such an intelligent man. And, I'm grateful for our Black media outlets. So please make sure you like, share, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you continue to support us. Also come over to my platform, The African Superstar Black, and support me.
Tell them about it. What they gonna find over there?
Yes. Come over hello to the African superstar Black. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been here in the YouTube space for over 7 years. Like I mentioned earlier, my channel was recently shut down. So any of our mutual viewers are like, oh my gosh, African superstar, I haven't seen you. Yeah, I'm Black like I never left. I have the backup channel, the African superstar Black. Please come over and subscribe. And you can get, similar topics over on my channel. I reside here in Ghana, so I share a lot of information about living on the continent and perspectives and things like that. So please come over to see me.
All right, and guys, thanks again. Another great show here. The first one that we did is almost at 14,000 views. So shout out to African Superstar. She was bragging.
I think they like this combo.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know. We probably can do this every week. Solve the world's problems. Me and African Superstar Black. So check her out in the first comment pinned to the top. And guys, thank you so much. And as you know, keep it real, King Ghana forever. We out.